Hey everybody, today we are playing Super Castlevania IV on the Castlevania Anniversary Collection. And we're actually gonna play the Japanese version, because the Japanese version has blood. If you're gonna play a Castlevania and you have the option of having blood, that's the option you're gonna choose. Here is the company logo. And check it out here, on the title screen we already have a puddle of blood with blood dripping down. That didn't make it into the European version. And here is the title, which doesn't say Super Castlevania IV. It says something else. Like Demon, Devil, Castle, Dracula, House of Satan. Or whatever they call that in Japan. Got the cross here on top of the tombstone. That didn't make it into the European version either. But anyway, welcome to the channel. My name is David. If this is the first time you're here, welcome. Nice to see you. Usually I upload videos about, concert footage and Castlevania music arrangements. But now I'm getting into the Let's Plays. Simply because, actually I used to make these kind of videos back in the day on VHS. So some of these games I have actually recorded before. But yeah, I never really learned how to do it with the modern equipment. But I learned it now. Because, I got some free time since we can't make concerts or music events in Sweden right now. This is 2020 during the corona pandemic. We have rules and stuff. In Sweden you're not allowed to have more than 50 people gathered in the same location. So, all the gigs got cancelled and now I'm basically sitting at home learning how to record Let's Plays. Because it's something I've always wanted to do, I just could never find the time. Now if you stand too long on the drawbridge here, you're gonna fall through. So that's not good. Let's just get in the castle. Alright, so this is Super Castlevania IV. And this game is fucking great. It's actually better than great. It's awesome. Well, it's actually better than awesome too. It's debased.
I'm debased.
I mean, this is like, it doesn't get any better than this. To me, this is the pinnacle of the whole Castlevania series. I don't think they ever managed to top this one. I think they have tried, but I don't think they ever did. If you want like a side-scrolling Classicvania with the Belmont and the Whip and Dracula and everything, I mean, this is the best one you can find. And it is as good today as it was back then. It has aged like a fine wine. I never drink wine. I've played through it about once a year. I've been doing it for probably the last 30 years or so, so I mean, I know how to beat it. Got my strats and all that stuff. Maximum will take a couple of deaths. I usually don't beat the game in one life. But at least we don't have to take a continue. Lots of new mechanics here, you're gonna notice. I mean, let's talk about the whip. The whip is like the best whip in the whole series, by far. You can whip in 8 directions. You can also grapple on to those hooks and swing. I mean, this is really the most mobile Belmont that we ever had. He can do anything. He can jump, he can whip. And this actually gives you a fair challenge compared to the earlier NES games, where it's like very stiff and clunky. This time you can actually move around and do what you want to do. Now the sub-weapon that you want to hold on to in this game is the cross. I never ever use the holy water or something like that. Axe is alright, I guess, but the cross is the one you want to have. And if you find the double and triple power-up, you're gonna be pretty OP. So that's the one you want. Now notice that the first stage is still going on. It's a pretty long stage. We are now in a stable with horse heads. Yeah, the stopwatch is something we don't want to pick up. It's a good tip not to whip candles when you are standing directly under them, because then, you might get a crappy sub-weapon and you can't switch them in this game. Not until you find another one. So you gotta be careful. If you have a good sub-weapon like the cross and the double, triple power-up, it's not so fun to accidentally pick up the knife. Knife and the holy water are really weak in this game. Alright, so we are coming up on the boss here. And this is actually a pretty easy stage, you can get through this the first time. That's a smart design, I think, to get people interested in the game. Even though the game will get harder later, it gives you a little warm-up here in the beginning. Unlike games like Ghouls and Ghosts, where it just starts hard as fuck right from the beginning, terrorizing the player. So now we knocked off the rider and we're gonna kill him like this. Whip up the ass. Because that's the name of the game. And a pose. Alright, now we are going to stage 2. Now stage 2 has the boss placed in the middle. The boss is Medusa. And for some reason she usually gets put in the middle of stages. That happened in Castlevania 3 too. I don't know what's up with that. Maybe she's not tough enough to be considered a real boss. But that's alright. Now, a while ago there was a big leak where a bunch of, secret source files and stuff were found from this game and a bunch of other games, and they were like alternate versions of the soundtrack. For example, this stage, Forest of Monsters, they had like a completely different music track for that. But then I guess they changed their mind and used this one instead. That was probably the right choice. This track is so atmospheric. It was interesting to hear the alternate version too. What the hell happened here? Look, the enemy is passing out. Yeah, the cool part about this game is that no matter how many times you play it, something fun can still happen. Even though you know where the enemies are. Sometimes weird things just happen. Keeps it fresh. Every playthrough is a little bit different. Now this whip flailing about, some people think that was just decoration, you hold the whip button and the whip goes limp and then you can, throw it around. That's actually like a key strategy for me when I play the game. I use that all the time to deal with bats and birds and stuff. And even some regular enemies. I think it's supposed to block projectiles, but it can be used for many things. And for me it was a huge drawback when they released, Dracula X Vampire's Kiss or whatever, the sequel to this one. And they went back to the one directional whip and the stiff jumping controls and stuff. I was, of course it was way worse than this game. And after that it just kept getting worse in some ways. To me this is probably the pinnacle of the whole series. To me this will always be the best Castlevania game. Even though I love many of the Metroidvanias, I love Portrait of Ruin, Order of Ecclesia, Dawn of Sorrow is great, Symphony of the Night of course I've beaten 100 million times. So here's Medusa. Blink and you miss her. If you want the real creepy atmosphere, with the music and the graphics, and the classic classicvania gameplay, I mean, this is the one. And this is a game that you can always just, boot up and play. It just feels good to play it, because it has good controls. And some people say that the game is too easy. And I guess people say that because all the other games are so, extremely cheap and unfair, that as soon as they release a game that's balanced, people are like, nah, that's too easy, But I think this is a fair challenge. I mean, I remember when we were kids, we playing this, without guides, without anything. It wasn't that easy, when you play it the first time, you don't know where enemies are, you don't know how bosses are gonna move and stuff. That was pretty tough. I'm not kidding. And even now, I mean, it gets pretty tough, the later stages, when you get into the castle. It can get pretty rough. So yeah, I wouldn't call it easy. But I would call it fair. Alright, now we are in the caves. Stage 3. And this stage actually has 3 different sections. You got the caves, you got the waterfalls, and then you got a little water temple at the end. This music track also had like a different version with an extended ending section. And this version, I don't know why for sure they should have used the prototype for this one, because it's longer. This final version is actually shorter, so I don't know what's up with that. I kinda liked the prototype for this one. I mean, the hitbox is a little fucked up, as you just noticed from the bat we took here. Sometimes you get hit by stuff even though they don't touch you. And the knockback is pretty severe, as you notice, so it can be dangerous. And here is a secret room that we all knew about, even back then, even before the internet. I mean, we had gaming magazines back then, and those would always give you some tips and stuff. And then you knew where stuff was. I mean, I live in Sweden, Stockholm, Sweden. And we only had like one gaming magazine, which was kinda shit. But we did have a magazine shop in the city called Press Stop, which was basically a shop that had magazines from all over the world. You got magazines from England, France, Germany, America. And I found that when I was, maybe 11, 12 years old. So we would go there maybe, I don't know, once a month maybe. And I would pick up a gaming magazine from America, like Game Pro or Mean Machines or one of those EGM. And I mean, it cost a lot, actually. It was about $8 or $9. But I would spend my whole allowance on that, because I was just so super addicted to information, in games and stuff. It was so cool to read about new games, and then you could find out secret passwords and secret rooms you could tell your friends on the playground. Probably good for, practicing reading in English too. Good times. Now this track here is so tranquil, so beautiful. Almost put that in the concert. I'm talking about Castlevania the concert that we arranged about 10 years ago. I made a whole set list of music, First one I put, I think, was Entrance Hall Chandeliers from this game. That was like the mandatory one to put in. And then I had a list of a bunch of other ones I wanted, like this one. But in the end we just had to make some difficult cuts. Otherwise the concert would have been about 4 hours. No intermission. So yeah, since it was the first Castlevania concert, we decided to just focus on the fan favorites, You gotta have Vampire Killer, Bloody Tears, you gotta have a theme of Simon Belmont, and of course you gotta have a lot from Symphony of the Night. I wanted to make sure that we got it right the first time. But of course, if we did sequels or something, we would have put this one in for sure. Alright, so the stage keeps going. And this is where it starts to get a little bit dangerous here. You don't want to fall down in the water, that's an insta-kill. And you got some breakaway blocks here. Pretty soon we're gonna face spitting fish. But not yet. Alright, here we go. Now you gotta move fast, because these mermen are gonna start spitting. And if you get unlucky, they will spawn behind you and spit you so you fall into the water from the knockback. So you just keep moving fast. Ah shit, I can't believe I took a hit from that. Remember we talked about the hitboxes? I mean, I wasn't close enough to get hit by that. But of course, I love this game so much, I'm not gonna call it bullshit. Nothing is bullshit in this game. Well, ask me again when we reach stage 8. Yeah, we have an advantage here thanks to our upward whipping. When the screen scrolls up like this, it becomes dead-end pits. So if you fall down, you're gonna die. I mean, for sure I wish we had this kind of whip in the NES games. And I think they were trying to put that in there when they designed the games. I heard that they wanted you to be able to whip in multiple directions. It was too complicated or something. Somebody should probably make a ROM hack of that. Whoops, fucked up the timing here. Well, it's not a speed run. Well, we got him. As long as you hold on to the triple cross, the game's not too bad. But it gets real interesting when you lose it, you know. When you have to restart with a leather whip and no sub-weapon, that's when it gets tough. Well, let's see what happens. Let's hold on to it as long as we can. So here's the skeleton mansion or something. Lots of cool details in the background. You got the skulls watching you. It's like almost every enemy here is a skeleton. Yeah, now these green platforms here to the left are pretty dangerous for sure. You have to push the jump button like as soon as you land. You only have like a split second to do it. And you better have a solid controller, you know, if your controller is a bit old and grimy, you might take a death there. You just gotta jam that jump button. And they put another one here. It's pretty nerve-wracking for sure, but we're gonna go for it. Jump! Alright, we got it. Now the boss coming up here, I don't have a strat for him actually, because I don't know, I mean, it just seems kind of chaotic. He just drops down, things fall down from the ceiling. I don't know. He's gonna go all out and spam the attack. I mean, look at the fucking pattern on the stuff that fell from the ceiling. How the hell are you gonna dodge that? It was like everywhere. There's a skeleton impaled here on the spikes. I wonder what's up with that. Well, that's the game's way of warning you, you know, if you don't do something, you're gonna end up as the skeleton. So we're swinging and swinging, and now a very cruel section appears. Medusa Heads. Now, what you want to do here is that you want to whip a little earlier than you think. Because the whip animation stays, it lingers for like a half second, so they usually fly into it. When I die here, it's usually because I whip a little bit too late. But yeah, once you get the timing down, it's easy. Of course, one hit and you get knocked back into the spikes. So it's still a pretty scary section. Alright, let's continue our Mode 7 adventure here. Now let me just say this is one of the first SNES games. This is not a game that was released like late in the console's lifetime. This was like one of the first. This was released next to, you know, Super Mario World, F-Zero, Turtles in Time. This was like, one of the very first, and still it has like almost the best graphics and the best music of them all. Now this section might look a little stressful because the blocks are falling down, but they are actually only falling down when you walk. So if you stop walking, they're gonna stop falling down. It's not as stressful as it seems. You gotta just be careful so you don't get a fucking skeleton on your head. Here we have a little labyrinth. You can get a little bit lost in here if you don't know where to go, but I found a shortcut. I always got stuck here when I was a kid. It usually took me like 5 minutes just to get through this place. You just look at this pattern here, and now just hold to the right and just run in there, and this is the only path you can take to the boss. I shouldn't be whipping those candles from underneath. I can't risk losing the triple cross. Now the boss coming up here is like a stone giant, and this is the first difficult boss, and he is actually harder than some of the later bosses. This boss is kind of a roadblock because you can't just go in and tank and spam the attack on this guy, because I mean he has a lot of HP and he hits hard and he's pretty fast. In other words, he's gonna outlast you if you just run in there spamming and tanking. So you're gonna have to use a little bit of strategy. Let's see how it goes. I fucked up the timing again. If you stand in the corner, he usually doesn't walk all the way in there. And as you see, he shrinks the more you hit him, and he gets faster. Well, I mean, look, we took a bunch of hits there. It wasn't a clean fight. But I told you, I mean, the boss is actually kinda tough. If you come in here without a sub-weapon, it can be damn hard. So this is the shortest stage in the game, stage 5. It doesn't have a boss, and it only has 2 short areas. So it looks like the flea men didn't make it into this game either. They have been replaced by those little gremlins. But this stage is actually real easy. No problem at all. I mean, it's just amazing how well the game holds up. I mean, it still feels so great to play. Looks great, sounds great, control is great, challenge is, you know, just what it should be. Look at this guy. Even when you don't move the whip, enemies take damage. It's great. One guy flew off screen there, I don't know what's up with that, but well, he's dead now. Now be careful, because this whip guy is out for justice. You gotta be ready, because as soon as you enter the screen, he's just gonna go for it. So we have now arrived at the castle. Let's step inside. Stage 6. The entrance hall. Now this kinda looks like the first stage in Castlevania 1, which is good. I like the consistency, you know. And this game was supposed to be a remake of Castlevania 1, I guess. But it's so different, I mean, it's basically a different game. It has barely any similarity at all, actually. It was just like, I mean, a lot of games were doing that back then, you know, after the 16-bit SNES came out, lots of games became remakes, you know, with the word Super added in front of the title. So like, you had the old Castlevania, now you have Super Castlevania. Here we have the swinging chandeliers. Just amazing. For sure, this music is way too good to just be featured in a video game. I mean, this is concert-worthy music. And of course, before we arranged this, I mean, this was the only version available. So of course, I mean, I was very interested in hearing it with a real orchestra and piano. That kind of curiosity was like the main driving force behind making the concert and those arrangements. How would the Castlevania music sound if it was played by real instruments, like a real orchestra? Because we already had like Final Fantasy concerts. Those were the first ones that got made. Distant Worlds and stuff. And of course the Final Fantasy also has great music. I mean, I'm not gonna say anything else. It's just that I think that Castlevania needed to be shown the same kind of love and attention. I mean, it was pretty well known by that time that Final Fantasy music was great and Nobuo Uematsu was great. But nobody was talking about Castlevania, so well, we just wanted to arrange something to show that this music is like among the best also. And of course, since many of the tracks are kind of, you know, rock based, you know, with drums and bass and stuff, we got drums and bass too, and guitar for the concert for a couple of tracks. I think if we did the whole concert with symphony only and no drums, guitars, bass, it would have been a little boring, I think, some of the arrangements. Some of the tracks really need that beat. Well, anyway, here's the ballroom. Or something. Lots of cool enemies here. You got like ghosts. You get these dancing dudes. And this game actually has respawning enemies, even though it seems like it doesn't. If you leave the screen for a little bit, they come back. It's not quite as bad as Ninja Gaiden on the NES, where they just, you know, respawn over and over. But yeah, they do respawn. For example, this axe armor, we killed him a while ago. He's back now. These jumps are danger. Ah, god damn it. Fine, now we gotta go all the way back up there. What the fuck is... No! The fuck is going on here? Dudes! 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 Leave me alone! What the hell? What the fuck? What the hell is happening here? I mean, look, these guys are moving through like time and space. We're not gonna live through this. The fuck is this? Let me get up. Fuck! We're gonna fucking die here, dude. Leave me alone. Ah, god damn it. I mean, I'm shocked. I never saw that before. What the hell happened? I mean, this is crazy. Well, I fell down, you know, I missed the jump. It wasn't my fault, by the way. That was the jump button. I was pushing that. But I fell through, and then the guys started spawning like, you know, in weird places. They started spawning like through the platforms, through the stairs. Oh my god, and in great numbers too. Jesus, I've never died there before. Well, it just shows you, even if you have played the game 100 times over a 30-year period, you can still get taken by surprise. Now that's Super Castlevania IV. We lost the cross sub-weapon, that's not good. Now we're gonna have ourselves a solid challenge, you know, 'cause I'm not that good with the axe. And this boss is tough too. I'm not even sure I can beat the boss without the cross. But this is good. Now it just became interesting. I can't believe that happened. Well, we're gonna make sure it doesn't happen again. I mean, normally those guys won't spawn here at all. Let's see. Look, they are down below, but not up here. But yeah, I mean, this is where the game starts to get a little bit tough. This stage and onwards. Not as tough as part 1 or 3 on the NES, but still pretty tough. I mean, it should be remembered that Castlevania 1 and 3 on the NES are considered like some of the hardest games in the history of video games, so maybe we shouldn't compare it with those. But yeah, compared to other platformers, this is a tough game. Well, the good news is that you have continues and you have passwords, so that's good. This room is interesting. Here you have real skeletons and fake skeletons. These ones are fake, so they will die from 1 hit, but the real ones will take like 3 hits. Yeah, those hands come out from the wall to grab you. So normally you would be fucked if those skeletons took 3 hits, but they only take 1 hit, so it's just an illusion. I don't know what's up with this. A bunch of spinning coffins. Yeah, these tables will come alive unless you kill them. And here we go, the ghost dancers. This is the first time they appear in the series. They would later appear in many of the DS games. So this is not good actually. We have almost half health and no cross. And I'm not good at this boss. Well, let's try our best. Oh shit, that was close. Whew, I mean we got lucky there, I think. At least we got the first attack timed properly. I know exactly when they appear on the screen, but after that, you know, how they move is pretty random. Moving on to stage 7. Now this is actually a pretty smart design decision, because the last stage was so intense, you know, with the music and everything. This stage is a lot more laid back, which is good for the game's pacing, you know, you can't have every stage be like super intense. So yeah, this stage is a little more relaxed, not that hard even. I'm just trying to find a fucking cross. You know, me without that cross is like a bird without wings. I need that. The problem is I don't know where the cross is. This is a pretty giant library, I guess. The books are as big as Simon. Yeah, this is a good trick, you know, to kill those axe armors. You know, just kill them from a little bit below, so they can't reach you with the axes. Now we're gonna attempt a shortcut here, which works. Sometimes. Oh. Oof. Close. Alright, now we're gonna jump on some floating books. The books look really cartoony for some reason. I don't know why. Everything else looks pretty serious. And then you have these snot green books. Look like some fucking Nickelodeon books or something, I don't know. Now these paintings will sometimes grab you, and then bats will fly into you, and it's pretty hard to avoid. I managed to do it now, thanks to the power of concentration, you know, recording the video, but usually I take a hit there. The cool thing about making videos, I mean, if you already make your own videos, you probably know this, but you know, when you record gameplay footage, you usually play a little bit better than you do normally. You know, when you're playing by yourself in the house, nobody's watching, sometimes you can play a bit sloppy. But when you are recording and you're thinking that, you know, everybody's gonna see this, you know, you usually get like a little extra adrenaline boost or something, like a little extra level of concentration, so you can reach things that you didn't think was possible. I'm not talking about just, you know, avoiding those bats a while ago. I'm talking about the other games too. It's pretty cool, you know, try it sometime. If you're playing like a tough game and you usually get stuck somewhere, try to record it and just like, you know, sit there like sweaty and shaking and just like, you know, your life depends on it. You might just get that little extra boost to see you through. Of course, we're not gonna need that for this game, I think. I mean, I'm not really scared of this game. The only thing, well, actually, there is one place I am scared of, and that's the last section of the dungeon in stage 8. That place scares me. Because that place doesn't have a strategy, as far as I know. It is random, you know, those disappearing blocks just before the Frankenstein boss. That place is the only thing I'm scared of for this playthrough, because we can get stuck there for real. I mean, I can die there once, twice, thrice, take a continue. If you get real bad RNG, you can get stuck there for forever. There is no reliable strat, there is no safe strat that I know of. But yeah, apart from that, it's pretty smooth sailing. We are being a little bit extra careful here because this boss is tough. The boss has 2 attacks. He can hit high or he can, you know, send fire across the floor. The problem is both attacks look the same, so I don't know which one he's gonna do. Look, when he threw the axe, it looks the same as when he hits the ground and sends the flame along the ground, so who the hell knows? Now, I would say that there is no strat for this boss, just attack him. Just have health and have the cross and attack him. Shit, it seems like playtime is over. We're gonna fall down a fucking hole. Stage 8. Now, the people who complain that this game is too easy, I invite you to play this stage. Just get the password online or something, and you start playing the game from here. Now, when I was a kid, that blood was always green, you know, like slime. I had no idea it was supposed to be blood. I think those censorships that they had, Nintendo, I think it probably hurt the console a bit. Because, you know, Sega Mega Drive, which was their main competition, I mean, they had like it didn't quite have the graphics or the music that the SNES had, but the thing that they had was blood and gore. That stuff was allowed on Sega. You would have games like Splatterhouse 2, Mortal Kombat 1, uncensored, stuff like that. Ah, fuck. I mean, look at this position here, look at it, I'm being shot from from above, from the side, I mean, what the Jesus. Well, anyway, I mean, they had that stupid censorship, you know, they would always remove the blood and cover up the nudity, and Mortal Kombat 1 was a fucking disgrace. I mean, it could have been a basically arcade perfect port, except they, you know, replaced the blood with sweat and made everything shitty. Oh, fuck. I can't believe I died there, oh my god. Well, I mean, look, in this game, it's like if you even touch the spikes, I mean, you don't even have to touch them. If you are in the same neighborhood as the spikes, you're gonna take an insta-death. This game does not have a generous hitbox. You can get hit by stuff even though they are not really touching you, so you gotta be careful. Although I guess we kinda messed up the timing for that one. Yeah, but anyway, after a while, I mean, you know, the funny part is this. When they released Mortal Kombat 2 in the arcades, I mean, which was a game that I fucking loved, I was always like wondering how the hell are they gonna censor this game, because this game has so many fatalities and so much blood. I mean, if you try to remove everything, there won't be any game left. I mean, I don't know how the hell they're gonna handle that. And guess what they did? Well, they just released it with blood and gore and everything, totally uncensored, on the SNES. I was fucking shocked. Yeah, but I mean, I guess they gave the game like a rating or something, you know, like from 15 years or 18 years. I mean, if I remember correctly, Mortal Kombat was basically the game that forced the age rating to become a thing. Or, I mean, look, to be honest, I think money talks, you know. Mortal Kombat 1 on the SNES sold like a lot worse than Mortal Kombat 1 on the Sega Mega Drive, and probably Nintendo noticed that. So it's like, if we release Mortal Kombat 2 and it's censored up the ass, nobody's gonna fucking buy that. We're not gonna be able to trick people twice. So I guess they just got convinced to show when we rip people's heads off and cut them in half and dance around in the guts. Now this pattern, I don't know what the fuck's going on here. I don't think I can survive this. I gotta go above. It's usually a simple pattern, but this time I just couldn't find an opening. For sure it would be interesting to see what the Castlevania games would have looked like if the team didn't have to adjust to Nintendo's censorship. Actually, I have the answer to that if you want to know. I mean, if you play Castlevania Chronicles, the game that they released for some Japanese computer, then you're gonna see what the Castlevania team wanted the game to look like, because that game has gore. Some of the most disturbing pixel art you're gonna find. God damn it. And there goes the cross. Bye bye cross. Yeah, this stage we would always get stuck when we were kids. You know, you could play the game from the first stage up until this stage without too much problem, but then when you reach this part, it's like starting to get tough. We're gonna risk this jump for the meat. Oh yeah. All the spikes are insta-kill in this game. No second chance. Here we have a rare invisibility. You don't get a lot of that in this game. Yeah, now this part here we got a bad pattern. But you don't have to jump here, just walk out. And we got this shitty knife. Now this section here is where we really got stuck, because we didn't know how to crouch walk when we first played the game. That was such a new mechanic, we didn't know about that. So we would just try to walk through here normally, you know, standing up, and then it's fucking goddamn impossible. I don't remember how long it took to learn about the crouch walk, but it took a while. And then it was like, oh, now this section is like, you know, it's almost impossible to die. Now here's the worst part, those disappearing blocks, because this pattern, I mean, I have no idea. Let's just go for it. Oh my god. Alright, so now we gotta kill this fucker. Frank. It's only Uncle Frank. Now as you notice, he takes almost no damage and he just created a clone. That's great. This is gonna take a while, but we gotta kill him, because I'm not going through those fucking blocks again. No matter what happens, this guy is gonna die. No second chance. fucking frank. But thank God the boss is at least a little bit easy. Imagine if they put like the Grim Reaper here at this stage, then it would have been the worst stage for sure. Now we are at stage 9. This stage is pretty funny, you know, when you see it, you think like, yes, I'm in the bonus stage, you know, it's like the coin room in Super Mario Brothers. You know, just collecting treasure, hooray! But you're gonna notice pretty quickly that this is not a bonus room at all. This is actually a pretty cursed stage. And the enemies hit hard here, so you gotta be careful, you gotta watch out for the accidental damage. These, you see the skeleton there, I mean, he will jump through the floor, he will throw stuff through the floor. And, you know, by this point in the game, you will die from like 4 or 5 hits. So you gotta be extra careful. Bats and skeletons. That's the whole show. At least we got the fucking cross back, that took a while. Now this stage, whenever I think about it, the one thing I always remember is that fucking skeleton that they placed on the ledge on this section here coming up. Now this is one of the cheapest things in the whole game. And I mean, if somebody asks if this game has bullshit, then this is like the prime example of that. It is almost a bullshit-free game. But I guess somebody in the office was an asshole and decided to put a skeleton on the ledge here. So after you clear all these platform jumps, you're gonna get knocked back and you're gonna fall in the pit and you're gonna die. Unless you do this. And stun lock his ass before he has time to jump. Because he will knock your ass down. And that can happen over and over and over. No matter how many times you die and come back, he's always gonna be standing there, just waiting to knock you down. It's just pretty weird since the rest of the game is so fair that they would put something like that there. Apart from that, this stage is not too bad. My trusty whip has failed me. Let's try that again. I'm not sure about the pattern here. I usually just go for it. Now these holes here have like some kind of wind suction going on. But if you get sucked into this one, guess what? Secret bonus chamber. Oh yeah. I'm not gonna take any chances whipping these candles here because I don't want to pick up a crappy sub-weapon now that I got the double cross. We're gonna hold on to that. Alright, now we're going up. And as usual, when the screen starts to scroll up like this, everything below us becomes an instant death pit. So be careful. I don't know why they never made another game like this with the same whip control and character movement. Alright, so now we are coming up on the boss, and this boss is not too dangerous, but it still hits hard and you can die pretty quick here unless you know what you're doing. You start hitting him before he even materializes. You got time. He's gonna dive down after a while. Let's move to the side. And you want to stay underneath the bat when he is in this phase. And now when he changes into little bats, you want to stay like far away and throw projectiles. Yeah, if you got like full health and the cross, it's not too bad. If you show up here half dead and without sub-weapon, then it's not good. The clock tower. Epic stage, epic soundtrack. I think this game will never be surpassed. This is really the ultimate, the perfection, like the definitive Classicvania game. Because you got everything here, you got all the stages, all the music, perfect control, you got all the classic bosses, you got everything. I guess maybe the development team realized that too, you know, when they sat down to make a sequel. It's like, well, we're never gonna be able to top it. This is as good as it gets. So what else can we do? Well, we can make it shitty. Vampire's Kiss. Now you gotta be careful here, because here they place another skeleton just waiting to knock you off the ledge. But if you duck, his sword is not gonna connect. We got some traps here, wheels that fall down, you gotta be careful. We got a couple of stray Medusa heads, but not too bad. Now, I don't know exactly why they put the whip grapple right next to this bone dragon's head. But yeah, you gotta be careful. Now we have a dead-end pit beneath us. One hit from anything is knocked back into the pit. Yeah, this is pretty dangerous, you know, swinging around when you got Medusas and axe armors throwing shit. Blocks break away. Oof. Oh yeah. We flail his ass. Yeah, this can be tricky, you know, because when you whip, your whip can grab onto those hooks. So yeah, pretty annoying enemy placement here for sure. Alright, we are at the top. Just a couple of stinking skeletons to deal with before the boss. Now this boss is the mummy. Or at least he's alone this time. There's always like twin mummies in the NES games. So this guy is just going berserk, shooting fireballs, but his aim sucks. Now he's gonna throw his bandages. The last proper stage of the game. And here we have a super sweet remix of Vampire Killer. Oh shit, do my eyes deceive me or do I see a crumbling bridge? Oh my god. And we got about 1 billion bats just waiting to take a chunk out of our firm buttocks. You just gotta keep running, and do a little moonwalk on the stairs. Now this section here is a fucking nightmare. We're gonna be chased by this spiked wheel. And this section is basically like Battletoads. I don't recall seeing anything like this in Castlevania previously. But here you just gotta keep running. And you better pray that you don't fuck up one of these jumps. Because if you fall down anywhere here, you're just gonna be standing there like a dum-dum waiting to get killed by the spiked wheel. So you gotta push the buttons extra hard, you know, when you climb the stairs you really gotta push so your thumb is hurting. Can't take any chances. And here you just have to have like psychic abilities and know where the spikes are gonna be above you. Because the game ain't gonna tell you. You just have to know if you're moving to the left or the right. I think this track fits this stage better than the first stage in Castlevania 3, because the first stage in Castlevania 3 is kind of slow paced. Well, this music sounds like it should be like some high intense action. Yeah, we just keep climbing. Now here's a dead end, but there are floating blocks. Just keep to the left. I mean, obviously, the first time you play the game, you're gonna die a lot here, because it's not so easy to know where to go. Now we're gonna fight Dracula's close associates. This first one is some kind of, you know, skinless bird or something. And the first part is easy, you know. You just gotta duck and whip. He's ducking and whipping. That's all you gotta do. The problem is now he goes into this phase, which is a lot more unpredictable. Because now he will sometimes charge you, and you look at the fucking hitbox there. I wasn't even close to that and I got hit. Yeah, this is where the bullshit starts to happen. Look, again. I wasn't even close to him. Look, what the hell, what the fuck, dude? God damn it. Yeah. I mean, this is, you have to be well away from him to dodge those attacks. So that went to hell. We're gonna try it again. Now this time we're gonna try another strat. We're gonna try to use these pillars here. Maybe that's what you're supposed to do. Gotta make sure you reach them before he rams you. This is the ass rammer. Well, it seems to be working so far. Maybe this is the intended strat. Alright, we got him. Well, that was easy. Flawless victory. So they give you a little meat here, so you can prepare for the next boss. This whole section is so goddamn epic. Here we have the blue gargoyle. Now he can do a couple of different things. He can shoot down like this, and he can land on the ground and shoot, and he can make the ceiling cave in. Well, it seems that he's not doing it now. For whatever reason. Oh yeah, he has a second form too. Now he gets like red. Yeah, it's not too bad. I'm just waiting for him to land, but he doesn't do it this time. Alright, well, we'll kill him like this then. Only the skeleton remained. Maybe it should have had like a third phase, the skeleton flying around. That would be pretty cool. Now they don't even have the courtesy of giving you a full heal here, so we're gonna have to fight the Grim Reaper without a full health bar. And even though this Reaper is a far cry from the NES Reaper, he is still no pushover. Yeah, I mean, you want to try to time your whips so that you hit him and block the projectile at the same time. Yeah, this is a little dangerous, but you can get a couple of hits in here if you have good jump timing. So you can jump over his attack. Shit. Yeah, I can't get into the rhythm. My timing is off. This whip flailing is only good for blocking projectiles. You can't hit him with that. You have to give him the fully extended whip. Or at least the fully extended middle finger. Fucking death. Get alive. Trying to sneak away there, but that cost me dearly. I don't think we're gonna survive. Fuck. Ah, you fucking bastard. It's somewhat shameful to take a death at this Reaper, but I mean, we didn't have a full health bar, so... But that's okay, I mean, I can kill this fuck. Yeah, we got a couple of free hits here. Well, I think this is actually a good design for the Grim Reaper. He's usually too cheap. With, you know, shit flying all over the screen, totally random. At least this time he has, you know, a pattern that you can learn, which is good. I always prefer those kind of bosses where they have like a pattern you can learn, instead of just running in there and hoping to get lucky. Only one more obstacle remains. Count Dracula. Yeah, as you notice, we just took a leap of faith here to pick up a bunch of power-ups, but you have to watch out because there's a pit there, so you gotta jump. Now this fight can go either way. I mean, sometimes I beat him on the first try, sometimes I die 5, 6, 7, 8 times. You never know what's gonna happen. We're gonna try our best here. We got the triple cross, we got full health bar. That's all you can ask for. I mean, how fucking epic is this musical theme? It's the same that they used in the beginning of the game, you know, when you saw Dracula's grave. Now this phase here is goddamn difficult. I hate those fires, you know, they fly around, homing. And Dracula teleports also like random. You can easily get trapped here, you know, like stuck in the corner. But we're gonna hope that doesn't happen. Well, if you get lucky, Dracula will sometimes drop some meat. Like this. Yes. That will keep us going. Alright, the last phase is here. Let's do it. I'm not very confident at dodging this lightning, so I usually just hang out here in the corner, which sometimes works and sometimes it doesn't. Alright, almost got him. It's close, it's fucking close. Alright, we got him. Yeah, the window let in the morning sun. And now Dracula has been turned into a fossilized bat. We got it, we beat the game, CASTLEVANIA IV. Does it still hold up? Yes. Is it still the best Classicvania? Yes. Is it the best game ever made, all categories? Well, yeah. But at least it's up there. I mean, this is a game that I have always loved from the first time I played it, and I will always love it. It's a holy game for me. It's like the Holy Grail. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like. I'll see you next time. This is David at CASTLEVANIA signing out.